Hello everybody, I think we can start. Sorry for delay, but I have a problem with my headphones. I hope it's no longer the issue. So yes, last time we were working on integration test for our RabbitMQ SAGA hosted service, and we created two tests. One test that check what happened with if in our callback for our channel will throw the exception, and this is this test. We want to check a callback exception for the channel, and this is our consumer, which have the defined callback with throwing the exception. And maybe you can see, maybe not, I improved a little bit of the code because there is a builder which helps me to building the hosting service, our RabbitMQ hosting service, and it's helped me because I can just replace some mocks to these properties, and then if this properties is set, then uses this mock. In other case, we just have the regular implementation, and we return from builder our hosting service with dependencies, which store all our services we injected in. Yes, so this is very helpful for me because let me show you our green path test, and this is it. And I removed a lot of code related to set up this hosting service. I just passing the SAGA model to our builder. I'm building it and checking in our dependencies, and for example, we can use this to get the serializer that is used in this hosting service. And in other tests, we check the callback exception. We use dependencies to mock our RabbitMQ consumer factory. As you can see, I pass to the builder mock, which is under our interface, and I'm just using the dependencies and define what consumer we should use for our hosting service. And yeah, let's check if it's work. And as you can see, we have a fixture. In our fixture, we have our container, and maybe it's the wrong name. We should name it RabbitMQ container fixture. It's more precise, I think. And now we use fixture to set up our builder. We're passing a connection string. We defined a connection factory, and yes, we need a connection factory and channel to um, uh, just publish the messages, but I think maybe it will be better to not use the existing one in our library in the test. Just create the new one, maybe based on our options, but not share those objects. So yeah, this is what for today. I also want to inject logger service to our something for logging. I think we will start with the default interface for Microsoft's, let's say, way of logging. I mean, iLogger from Microsoft logging extensions or something like that. And we will, instead of just, injecting this consumer, we will check the logger if the consumer in our application received pass the exception to our logger. So we will get rid this today. I hope we will simplify our code, because I think it's still a little bit messy. We can do it better. So let's start with this test. Oh, maybe first I will run, and I will check if those tests still works. I think yes. And for second thing I want to do today is have similar tests, but for RabbitMQ SAGA background service. It's the wrapper for our hosting service, and it will be used for registration. I hosted registration as a hosted service in service collection. Okay, as you can see, tests are running. Now it passed, and our Docker containers are disposed correctly. So yeah, everything is okay. Let's refactor some code and check if tests will be still valid. Okay, this is the builder. Maybe first I will define it as I'm afraid that I have to maybe just internal record data and test data. It will be more friendly name, more descripted, and let's move it to another file. Okay, what I said, I want to inject logger to our yes, first I need to get rid of this. I don't want to get channel and the connection from the builder. It can be complicated. Let's use completely new one. connection, and Rabbit our plugin will have own. These things, I mean, having the access to our dependencies will be more important in unit test. Here I think we want to just test connections and communication with our plugins. So let's maybe just remove this. This is okay. Properties channel. Oh, I didn't mention that I installed the poly library. Is very convenient library for creating the retrying strategy, and here I use for executing of getting the message, because as you can see, oh my god, our channel will not be ready immediately, so we need to wait some time, and we can do it by using this library. Okay, let's start. Connection string, yeah, and we have an error. We want have a channel. Let's create the channel and connection maybe first. Okay, I will keep it. Our connection will be new connection factory. Yuri, and here we use the same connection string from our fixture class, and dispatch consumer async. Maybe even better will be something like that. This will be exactly the same. If we something change in the future in our default option, this will be already working. Yeah, and yeah, we want to create connection. This is our connection, and let's create the channel. Our channel will be connection.create model. Last but not least, let's set up our properties, and properties will be as far as I remember, channel.create basic properties. Yes, and our properties content type will be the same as our builder, RabbitMQ Saga options, and content type, because the default one is application JSON. Yes. Okay, so now as you can see, there are no errors anymore. But the first one will be working, but the second one that's checking the callback exception, it will not work, because now it's not the channel, in our SAGA plugin. This is channel only for connecting with the RabbitMQ. So we will check it, I mean our exception, from the injecting dependencies. That will be the mock, and this will be our logger. Let's inspect. Maybe I will just start this test in the background, and let's go to our plugin. Let me show you how it works. Start, yes. Okay, as you can see, I added some callback exceptions, and for channel we have a callback exception, and for connection, if something went wrong, we will use this method, and I'm gonna inject logger for this class, and once again once again I will use a logger from Microsoft. I checked that our other libraries support this interface also, so I think it's very good idea to not create other loggers, just use this existing interface. Other loggers of our interface created for our application. I think it's not needed. Okay, so if our exception will throw, we want to log it. So let's log this, and okay, maybe now without scopes we'll we will implement it another time. Let's just log an error. Can I log an exception here? Let's see. Log not just error. And what we have here, event ID. Oh, okay, yes, there is an exception. So here we have an exception. We can pass the message. Let's create message. Exception has been thrown by the handler. For now without the programs, but I imagine that we will pass here some data like transaction ID or the connection ID, but this will be for the future. I think it's the logging stuff. It's not. I believe it's not the matter of this task. And shutdown critical. Just error. What do we have an exception here? Curse. Oh, we have something like this. Okay, so let's create, not create, shutdown occurred, and here we pass the reason. Oh, because, okay. Okay, let's yeah, single one will be better. Okay, maybe we have something more here. Detail. Ah, let's pass the detail. Okay, so and now let's check two usages of the iLogger. Okay, host builder. Let's create maybe method. To pass this. Okay, we need to pass the logger here from configure. Okay, let's start with this plugin. Okay, and for now we will throw the exception if logger is can throw here. Let's invalid operation exception. It's not a good idea for long term, but I just want to have this temporary solution to yeah, to have omit this compilation problem. But in the future, I will create the more correct way of setting this logging from the SAGA host builder. Maybe I will just even okay, let's continue. Okay, we need a logger for our SAGA host, very specific one. Okay, so it's internal. Oh my god. It should be okay. I hope. Okay. So where is the problem? Okay. I need to add the generic argument here, and now it works. Okay, so yeah, we have our builder for tests. Yeah, and it should yes, I need pass here I said logger. Just object. Okay, so what's wrong with this? Oh, it should be okay. Let's create the properties logger and oh no. And here we need to pass default value. What default value we will have? Maybe there is something like okay. Does it work or not? iLogger factory. Okay, so what we have here is create logger and add provider. But this will be let's start with substitute and we'll remove this. You have the definition. Oh, okay, dependencies doesn't have. And also be init. It's also be required. And let's do something like this logger. just log. And here we it's not good, but this will be okay. Good enough. I will improve this as always after stream. So we have a substitute of logger, and we go back to here, and let's in the second test let's remove this callback. Maybe we can keep the consumer. We'll remove the consumer as well. We just we will send the wrong message. We no longer need this serializer. Yeah, and so here, as you can see, we serialize with the serializer of the RabbitMQ. Then we can just serialize in a different way instead of creating the correct message. We can just and use the toString, and this will not serialize as the JSON, so this should now the serialization exception should occur. Let's yeah, so first we don't want to have the this we want dependencies and logger received and log. Let's see how we are logging this as an error. Maybe I use the log error, but I know it's the extension. Yeah, so we need to check something like that. Yes, so the error, the event ID, I don't know what event ID. Okay, maybe let's check if it's the overload callback exception here, and here we have an error, and okay, so it's the shorter one, as you can see. Yeah, we don't have any event ID. Okay, log exception arg.any message let's for now let's say any string, and args arg.any object and nullable. Yeah. Let's format this. So we assume that this will the wrong message will invoke the logger. What's here? Okay. Where is the problem? Oh, this is also okay. This is still in the extension. Oh my god. Okay, so we need to dig down, down, down. Log, log, log. Hey. Oh, okay. And now we are here. Okay, so this is what we want. Let's have this in separate window, and let's create our test. Okay, so log level, it's an error, event ID, exception, state, okay, whatever it is. Okay, that's not good. We need a state. Okay, maybe we can check what state we need. Formatted log values. It's probably here, this, and okay, let's pass it this. Oh no, it's internal. Yeah. No, it's not possible. Or maybe it is. Okay, let's create the callbacks instead of injecting the logger right now, because it's really hard to check it. I thought it would be easier, but okay. So we have a logger. Instead of logger, we will pass this callback exception. So oh, nice. Should be okay or not? bin. Where is delegate? Yes, so yeah, it's okay. Just let's check it. If I return here this, okay, we can do this like that. So this will be delegate public on RabbitMQ RabbitMQ SAGA section, and this will be the void. We'll take object sender and also the event args for exception, callback exception. Event args, yes. Let's format this, move it into the. Okay, I can move it. Okay, let's keep this here right now. And public void SAGA shut down, and also object, and it will be called back callback shut. Okay. Shut down event args, and now instead of logger we will pass those handler and on shutdown handler. Let's create fields. Without a logger. Okay. So this will work. So action will be okay. Action of object and Yeah, so as you can see, I don't have much experience with callbacks. Should be okay. Okay. And we still have this issue. Event handler. So it should be event handler. So why this? Okay, so I'm sorry. For my I'm sorry for this. Now it should be work without problems. And this app is a little bit obsolete on handler. And this handler here. And now let's go to the builder. And instead of logger, we can create an here the exception call handler and shutdown handler. Not method, field. Yes, and field. And we can configure this like that. Public here we will have this. Here we will have this handler. And here we pass the exception handler. Here we pass the shutdown handler. And let's create the default one, which is just empty lambda. So we don't have any model logger and it looks better, to be honest. So maybe this is why the interface is so complicated. It's really hard to mock it, and it's better to not lock it. Yeah, and so we have an logger. And we can do something like that. Maybe just remove this logger, remove this, and let's create the same things as here. So here, this. This will be public. Event handler on get set, and let's create the default implementation. Yeah. Why IntelliSense haven't improved haven't formatted this line? I don't know. But writing code in parallel is so satisfying. Okay, and we can pass this dependencies to the dependencies is on exception handler, on shutdown handler, but without a colon. Let's create these props. And not internal set, but init. And here init as well. And let's pass the dependencies on exception handler and this on shutdown handler. And finally, we can go to the to our code consumer. We don't want to the consumer. We just want to have a SAGA model. Input message. Yeah, well, that's okay. And so we have invalid message bytes, and we're publishing the message. We should also mock the builder dot SAGA. It's SAGA but on exception handler, and this will be an and I'm not sure this will work. Okay, yeah, this will work. So let's exception. Let's cut the exception. Exception and we shouldn't have the we should have the not null exception. Yeah. So this is message. Yeah. And now we have in our builder we have a correct SAGA model, and we will send the queues to our queue source the incorrect message that will trigger the exception, and then we should catch an exception here and have not null exception. So let's run both tests. Those tests are running in parallel. That's why we need different qsource and qtarget, because if we will have the same, this will not work. It cannot work. Maybe it will, but now I know that this. I mean, I take some tests and I saw that every running test failed, so this will not work. Okay, so yeah, we have this test passing, so I will maybe check what an exception we have here. Okay, but this is not what we want. Okay, yes, so what we have here, okay, yeah, so it's the system.text.json exception. So as you can see, this is what we expect for. Okay. So we have a red path, we have a green path, and I think it's okay for now. Let's move further to the next step, which is our another integration tests about background service. But first we need to fix this test because it's probably, yeah. Pass default. It will be null. Okay. and this is enough. Oh, we should for the next stream I will prepare some new tests for our integration tests and for our unit tests and for the those services, because I think it's important. And now we will run the tests for our background service, and this will be enough for today. Let's remove unnecessary usings. Let's get the poly. So as you can see, we have everything. Yeah. So we have a dispatch consumer sync, async, and this will be also here. And services. Okay, so this is our act, this is our assert, and let's go with the not assert, arrange, and let's get with our assert. And yeah, we want to get also the message, so setting retry policy, execute, and let's execute the channel basic get. And we want to go to the target queue and true. And let's see if our result is not null. Is not null. Let's run this. You can look on our Docker dashboard. Oh, and here we have the method our operation is not implemented. Oh, okay. Because we don't have our mock. Yeah, that's stuff. So maybe let's go to our mock and copy this, and for now I will implement our consumer, subscriber, not queues provider, not connection factor. Oh, okay, SAGA orchestrator. Yes, here. Yeah, so this is under development, but it's our first version of our SAGA orchestrator. I'm sorry, for our SAGA orchestrator, and I think we don't need any more this mock. We can remove this and let's fix the errors. Just SAGA orchestrator. Yeah, that's internal, but this is also internal, and I should have the ability of passing the internal public. Maybe I don't have, but this is also internal. It shouldn't be completely the same, but what's wrong? But this is also okay. It's RabbitMQ. Okay, but I can't. Yeah, because it's in orchestrator. I can use builder. Build. Okay. And now should work. Okay, still failure. And it's still null. So what's the problem? Okay, obviously we first need to send the message. So we haven't channeled, so let's copy the code from here. This and this, and we'll use the basic publish. Yes, this also. Let's go here. Okay, so we have an SAGA model here, so we don't need to do this, but we need create the input message and send the message here. A basic publish. And here we source properties. It's like let's create the serializer. RabbitMQ SAGA JSON serializer. Let's create message bytes. Serialize the input message. And now we need to create the properties. And we can create properties here. Channel dot create basic properties. First we need to create, we can create read-only and content type. Content type will be application.json. This. I should move this to have to provide the same value every time. If we something change in the default, this will not work here, but I will improve this for the next stream of course. So let's run. Now it should work. Now we should have finally the result. Yeah, so as you can see, this test is working. For at the end we can run all the tests to ensure that we write everything today is working. And for the next stream I will prepare more tests for those dependencies of the RabbitMQ SAGA hosting service, and yeah, and we can slowly finalize our work with plugin and move to our core. And one test more. Yeah. So thank you very much. Yeah, and let's finish for today. Yeah, everything is green. We can finish. Let's create them read only. Why not? Uh, let's commit the changes. Maybe I will commit off stream. And yeah, thank you for being here. Like and subscribe, and see you next time. Bye.